Thank you, Peter, for the kind introduction. So my name is Marcel Alberts, and I started my career about 20 years ago at DSM as an intern, and I spent most of my career at DSM within DSM Dyneema, where I was working as a sales manager and later global marketing manager up until 2010, when DSM decided that they wanted to expand their channel to the market by working together with a distribution partner. And yeah, that's where I saw the chance to start my own business, and I founded Eurofibers, and we became the distribution partner of DSM for Dyneema, and later also expanded our portfolio and also became a distribution partner for Teijin, for Twaron and Technora, and we had Vectran and Xylon. So for some of you guys may have never heard of these products, but these five products are so-called high-performance fibers. So these are products with extraordinary properties, typically very high strength, low elongation. Some of them have very good fire retardant properties. And well, over the course of the past 10 years, together with my team, we managed to build the business, let's say, from just a two-man show from the attic to a business where we are now 25 people, as we have moved beyond trading, but also started our own so-called fiber enhancing services, where we were able to enhance fiber properties by means of twisting, coating, plying, and chopping of the yarn. So that business grew steadily over the years, and about 1.5 years ago, I was approached by a private equity company who was at that moment the owner of Lumat. And for those who are not unfamiliar with Lumat is, I would say, probably Europe's largest trader of polyester and polyamide, so the more the commodity fibers, but specifically for the technical textile industry. So we're not talking about apparel here, we're talking about high tenacity polyester for rope applications, webbings, strappings, those kind of products. And well, as we were more in the top of the pyramid, and Lumat was more in the base of the pyramid, that made perfect sense to join forces. So as of January last year, we merged three companies together. One of them was Lumat, the other one was Dominion Fiber Technology. This is actually a US-based twisting company, which was also owned by the same private equity company. And then the third one is Eurofibers. And we decided as of last year to move on under a new name called Fiber Excel. And I would like to share a short presentation on that right now. And I think you should be able to see my screen. If not, then please let me know. Otherwise, I will continue. So this is the logo of the company. And sec. Yes, and these are, let's say, the three companies I just mentioned. So Lumat, Dominion, and Eurofibers continue under the new name Fiber Excel. And what we think is that the combination of the three companies create a very nice portfolio of both high performance fibers and high tenacity fibers. Also we have a very nice global reach. So the high performance fibers, so we're talking, I mentioned already Dyneema, Aramid, Technora, Twaron, Vectran, Xylon, and then the industrial polyester and polyamide and some viscose. And so in addition to the products we can coat, we have quality lab, we can twist, assembly. So we have a large portfolio of fiber enhancing services to further enhance those properties. And this is, let's say, enough on Fiber Excel as a company. What I would like to do, which is more related to the subject of today, is to discuss in a little bit more detail about a specific application we developed a few years ago when we were still Eurofibers. So like I said, we started with two guys. It was myself and Jan Kriele. He had worked already for Dyneema for a long time. And when we started, well, we had really a very strong ambition to grow. As let's say, you have no choice. If you don't make any turnover, you're dead in a few years. So I asked Jan, do you have any ideas how to grow our business? And Jan said, well, he had worked in the viscose business before. He said, well, if cotton is a staple fiber, and it's widely used. So if we are able to use a little bit of Dyneema, the world's strongest fiber, what an amazing denim we could make. And that was actually the thought, and but it was just a thought. Jan had worked on a project maybe 10, 15 years before, but it was never, it was stopped due to resource constraints, and Dyneema was sold out anyway. So what we did is Jan and I, we went to the Premier Vision in Paris, and in the train going over there, we thought, well, it will be quite difficult because we have no samples, we have nothing, just more the concept, and we are a fiber supplier, and we need to find somebody who can make the yarn, then we need to find somebody who can make the fabric, then we need to find somebody who can finish the fabric and make the denim or the jeans, and then the brand owner. But just by serendipity, Jan bumped into a former classmate who was working for ISCO, one of, if not the biggest denim producer in the world, in Turkey. And Jan explained our idea, and the guy started laughing. He said, well, guys, the fashion right now is that the jeans are ripped apart. So what a stupid idea. It will only be more difficult to recycle or to finish them. So, but luckily he brought in a colleague, and he was the technical director of ISCO, and we again explained the concept, and the guy said, wow, that's a fantastic idea, and okay, I don't see the market for that. So at the end of the day, Jan and I went home, and then 2 days later, I was sitting again in the attic at my office, and then my phone rang, and I was called by a guy called Neil Bell, who was the innovation director of Levi's. And I was for a minute thinking that somebody was pranking me. And he said, I was at this show, Premier Vision, and there I spoke to a supplier, and he explained about the story that you would be able to make our jeans stronger. And well, our logo is two horses who are trying to pull apart a pair of jeans. So if you can make our jeans stronger, then we're in business. And I said, yeah, right. But now here comes a funny story. This was in June, and literally in December, we scored an order of over 200,000 euros. And well, in the technical textile industry, this is unimaginable. I mean, each and every project we run lasts for at least 1 to 2 years before it becomes anywhere sizable. And that, for me, that was really an eye-opener to see the difference between the technical textile industry and then more the fashion industry, where you see just the clock speed is so much higher than what we were used to. So this was really which put us as Eurofibers on the map. Later on, we were able to prove, let's say, that the concept worked, and you see that by adding just 2% of Dyneema in the product, we would already obtain a 60% higher tear strengths. And also on the Martindale, it was even on the abrasion resistance, it was even more. By just blending in 2% of Dyneema, we were able to double the abrasion resistance. And here you see two pictures. This was a cotton terry knit without Dyneema. After 50,000 cycles, it was completely ripped. And then we made one with overall, it had 2.5% Dyneema. And after 60,000 cycles, you see it's still intact. So this was quite an a good result. We were really happy with it. But what was most interesting is to see how Levi's was positioning the product. And this was already a few years ago. But I was expecting that they would emphasize really on the strength of the material, but they played more the sustainability card. And they said, okay, well, this way the jeans last longer, so that way the customer doesn't have to buy that many jeans, and that way less cotton is needed and you save water. So that was basically the story which they used to sell. So that was just a nice anecdote, because it fits very nicely also with the subject of today. Now I want to continue, let's say, a bit on Fiber Excel. So after the merger last year, we had a very big growth ambition for the company, and yeah, over the past 20 years, I've been always traveling. That's a bit my lifestyle, and I was used to that. And then all of a sudden, Corona, and well, that was really a big shocker for me, but also for my wife, who, or from one moment to the other, saw me sitting at home every single day. So that created some nice challenges, but we overcome that. And what's more important for me, as I could not travel, it more or less forced me to think about the future of our business. And so, yeah, over the past 20 years, always been involved in technical textiles and fibers. And so where is this industry heading? But what we noticed is the business is changing, and that really means that we as an industry need to rethink our business. So what we have done is, as of January 1st, I resigned as managing director of Fiber Excel and started a new company called Healix, where we anticipate to create circular value chains for plastic fiber waste. And I like this anecdote a lot. The greatest threat to our planet is the belief that somebody else will save it. And that's typically what happened talking to many of our customers. They were always pointing to the East and saying, yeah, they make a mess out of it in China. But I think that each and every one of us should take its own responsibility. And everybody knows this picture. Well, it's basically symbolizing a much bigger issue, that there's at the moment so much plastic waste ending up in the ocean, over 8 million metric tons. And it is also leading to a lot of issues, as you can see in this picture. So I read this article that if we think already we have a pollution problem right now, it will become even much worse, because in just 20 years from now, there will be twice as much plastic being used and 4 times more plastic ending up in the ocean if we don't change the way we work. And that's really, for me, was an eye-opener, whereas technically seen, there is a solution. And that's actually our ultimate goal, to help get rid of plastic pollution in and around the marine environment by closing the loop and create circular polymers for the global manufacturing supply chain, by basically recycling used ropes, nets, and baler twines, for instance, into polymers which can be used for closed loop recycling. And by that also contributing to the Sustainable Development Goals. I will not show this one, and you can look it up somewhere. So the technology, basically very short, we collect the materials, we chop it, we wash it, and we compound it. And that way we make it granulate with such a high quality that we can supply it back for yarn production. And we are currently building this plant in Maastricht. We have ordered the equipment. So this is a schematic picture of the washing line. And this is the rotor cleaner. We'll not go into much detail. But you see, it gives a very high level of cleaningness. And then with this machine, we can extrude it to a pallet. And that's actually what we're planning to do. The equipment will be delivered by the end of this year, and we should be operational as of the beginning of next year. So if anybody would be interested to know more about it, you can find my contact details here, and I'll be happy to share more details on it. Thank you. Sorry for rushing at the end.